Policeman survives suspected terror attack in French city of Cannes, according to Nuria. Cannes, according to everyone else. Police in the French city of Cannes have shot a man who attacked a group of police officers with a knife. Security sources have told French media the attack looks to have been motivated by Islamist terrorism. A police source said the attacker claimed to have been acting in the name of the Prophet. There we go. In this case, it turned out to be doing that in the name of the Prophet or in the name of, these far right-wing conspiracy theorists, anti-face mask, anti-vaccines. I would put them all in a similar category if they're going to the same extent as everyone else. He reportedly opened the door of a police car. Look at the form on this guy. He just casually walks up, opens the police door.
Horace,
can you come out for a moment, sir? And then boom, start stabbing people. So that's just, where is this behavior coming from? I don't think we can just simply hide behind there's this, I don't know, these guys have got some mental conditions. Okay, mental condition. I totally get it. We are seeing that with, what's that group of losers? Incels. They've started doing that thing as well. So these could be modern day problems. Incels, these anti-face mask people, these anti-vaccine people, all of these people who are committing violence. These are 21st century problems. Conspiracy theories, social media, everyone is an expert. Dr. Google's causing that. Okay, these are but you can't hide behind this when it comes to ideologies like Islamism or anti-abortionists, right? So there've been anti-abortion who inspired by pro-life and the Christian doctrine of every life is sacred. So they've been inspired by those people. So you can those guys, we can put the finger on religion when it comes to those things. So anyway, so these are the but to me, these guys, and this is why Hindu nationalists get upset with us, these guys are two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
Whether they are anti-abortionist, whether they are these incels, anti-face mask, or Islamist terrorists. Islamist terrorists are just a bit more experienced. So they've been doing this for far longer than these incels and these guys showed up. Do you want to say something to it?
I just want to say, just exactly what you're saying, you hit the nail on the head. But as a follow-up, doing something in the name of the Prophet or according to Sunnah of such a violent man who just cannot tolerate any other views but his own is also a form of a mental condition. Believing the Prophet to that extent, I genuinely think is a bit of a mental condition. That needs to be addressed. But like you said, when you're on the far right, you are literally all batting for the same team, whether you know it or not, because you're all xenophobic, you're all bigoted, you're all racist. And obviously the left isn't doing anything to help that at the moment, because that's why I think our voices are so important, because we're coming from here. I'm definitely not willing to get into bed with the far right. I would never entertain that, as part of my, because I care too much about anti-Muslim bigotry, for lack of a better word. So I just wouldn't entertain those views. And even though we are exactly on the same page with Islam is a messed up ideology and we need to rid that of the world, that's why I sit here and talk to you and do this, whatever work I can in this capacity, because I'm not willing to throw all Muslims under the bus for that at all. I just think they're just not awake to their scriptures. But when they are, this is what happens. Are these 3 news stories you shared across Europe from last week? Yeah.
Yeah. Just
this
last
is
7
Europe,
days.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Europe. This isn't this is why I say the political aspect of Islam can never just be kind of glossed over, because Islam has an inherently always, whether it's subdued, whether it's happening on a political scale, the need to expand and kind of have this totalitarian, almost fascist appeal is inbuilt within Islam. And these kind of free rangers who go out and carry a weapon and, cause havoc in European societies just think that they're part and parcel of exactly what Islam requires from them. And it's about time that Europe sit together. I mean, Macron's doing a fantastic job in being we do not tolerate that. Those are not our values. Our values are enlightened values. but it's I mean, high time for England, and I will be shut down by a lot of English, platforms for saying this, but it is high time that also, like, England wake up to the fact and reality that Islam is an inherently political ideology with an expansionist agenda. And whether you're opening mosques or you're granting access to Sharia councils, or you're allowing Islamic societies to, infiltrate almost every single space, you do not have any idea what you are opening up your well to, because it can get very dark very quickly, as we've seen with like cases where people claim to be rehabilitated. And that's why the Shamima Begum case like posed such a big issue in this community, because we're like, do we forgive and forget and let her back, or do we actually penalize the fact that you are willing to join a terrorist organization that routinely beheads people? And you're even as a teenager, you're getting on a plane to go and effectively join that by yourself without any, the pressure online, and obviously what they appealed to make her join that in the first place. Those are all issues to consult. But the fact that you can say that and claim that you're a Muslim, and then you do these abhorrent acts, which are just in your scriptures. Europe is like very, very nervous to accept that link. And we see debates. I see debates all the time. I watch them on YouTube happening at these universities, and nobody's actually going ahead and making that link and saying, you know what, let's just take a look at Islam scriptures once and for all. Like, I can argue with you about what I think Islam is, and you can tell me what you think, the best way to integrate into society is, and we can meet halfway. But let's go back to the Quran, which is full of hate speech, like absolutely full of hate speech. When I saw how bitter God was towards Christians and Jews and non-believers, and especially polytheists, like he hates them with a vengeance, but he's also not afraid to call the Christians and Jews pigs and monkeys and the scum of the earth. Like, that did not sound like a divine being to me at all. But I really I just want to wrap up this rant about Europe, but they definitely need to stop being afraid of being labeled certain things, and the woke needs to really, really kind of step up and be like, you know what, we need to call out something where, because who do we go to then, Harris? Like, the only people who are on the same page as us is the far right? So it's like, who do you go to? I'm just kind of like straddling in the middle, and I'm saying Islam is messed up, but your views are messed up. And, the woke is like, oh, no, you can't say that. But yes, we can. I'm from that exact culture. I've lived this. I have lived experience. You have lived experience. We still live it. Like, everybody around us is still Muslim. We're just doing what we do because we think it's yours.
Yeah.